Hello everyone, welcome to Java Tea Point. For today's, our topic of discussion is first program in C++. This is a very important topic actually, or we can say this is the first step to learn C++ programming. So let's begin. So in this video, we are going to cover these three topics. First is how to write the code. Second is how to compile the code. And third is how to execute the code. So to write the code, we need to understand the programming structure of C++. So components of C++ structure. There are mainly three sections in C++ program. The first one is standard library section. The second one is main function section. The third one is function body section. First, we will look at the standard library section. In standard library section, it consists of two statements. The first one is hash include iostream and the second one is using namespace std. Here, hash include is a preprocessor command that includes all the files of a header file in your program, and here iostream is a header file which must be specified within these angular brackets. So iostream is a header file that contains the two most commonly used objects, that is cin and cout, where cin is an object of input stream that uses an insertion operator to take an input from the user, while cout is an object of output stream that displays the output on the screen and it uses an extraction operator. So the second statement is using namespace std. Here the significance of namespace is that it removes the ambiguity or it avoids the collision between the similar function names or the similar variable names. For example, let's suppose there are two persons having the similar name like Akash. So how we can call them or how we refer them? We can call them either through their area or through their parents' name. So in the similar way, C++ contains various libraries that are having the similar functions names. So how compiler can recognize this function to which our program is referring? So this problem is overcome by using the concept of namespace. So in C++, std, here what std is a predefined namespace in C++. The functionality of cin and cout defined in std namespace. So to use the cin and cout object in your C++ program, you have to use the std namespace. So if in your program, if you are not using the namespace std, then you need to prefix std, then scope resolution operator before the cin and cout like this. So to avoid prefixing this, we can use the namespace std like this. So if we are using the namespace std, then we don't have to prefix std before the cin and cout. We can directly access cin and cout. So the next section is the main function section. Here the main function is the starting or the beginning function of all the C++ programs. And here int is the return type of the main function, and the body of the function starts with the opening of the curly brackets and the ends with the closing of the curly bracket. The next section is function body section. Now after adding the main function, we have to write the statements in a main function body. So what are the statements then? The statements are those, like suppose I want to create a program that adds two numbers. So I have to create a logic that will add two numbers. So the logic which I write are the statements. So after writing the statements, I have to write the return statement. This is the end statement of the main function. So basically, what is the significance of return statement? Here, return statement basically used to terminate the execution. It either returns the control to the operating system or to the calling function, and the value which we are passing with the return statement should match with the return type of the function. Suppose I am writing here int type, so the value must be of integer type. And if I am writing here float, so value must be of floating type. Alright, so the value should be matched with this return type. And if I am using the void type, then it is optional to use the return statement. So let's understand this return statement through a simple example. Here we have used a simple, very simple example. So we have created a main function in which we are calling a display function, which is a user-defined function. When we are calling a display function, the control moves to that user-defined function. Then all these statements of this function will be executed. Then after the execution of these statements, the control moves back to the statement from where the function is being called. Okay. Then after the execution of all the statements of a main function, the control comes to the return statement. And this return statement will terminate the program and returns the control to the OS, that is operating system. So now let's look at the practical implementation of our first C++ program. Here we are creating our first C++ program in Dev C++ compiler. So here we'll see how to write, how to compile, and how to execute the code. So first we will include our header file. #include, and I'm using a iStream as a header file. Then we have to use the namespace. Then create a main function. Then we'll write the body of the main function. Suppose I want to print hello Java T-point on the console. To print something on the console, we have to use a cout, then extraction operator. So to print something on that should come within the double quotes. Hello Java T-point. And this statement ends with the statement terminator. Now after writing the logic of a program, we have to write the return statement. Now to compile and execute this code, we will press function key F11. Wow, we got the output, hello Java T-point. So thank you everyone for watching this video. So if you like this video, then please like and subscribe it.